हेलो फ्रेंड्स। हेलो। हेलो। हेलो।
हाँ जी बोलिए।
हाँ सभी ना सर, मैं सभी बोल रहा था अटेंडेंस के लेगा थोड़ा देर बाद सब आ जाने के लिए और कुछ नहीं। हाँ,
अच्छा अच्छा,
आफ्टर
मैं हूँ।
5-10
अभी
मिनट
कब स्टार्ट करना बताइएगा।
स्टार्ट कर दीजिए सर, 15 हो गया सर।
हाँ वही वही।
हाँ सर स्टार्ट कर, आप स्टार्ट कर दीजिए, मैं बीच में अटेंडेंस ले लूंगा थोड़े।
हाँ ठीक है ठीक।
ठीक है,
मेरा
मैं
आवाज ठीक
म्यूट
है।
कर ले रहा हूँ अपने को, एकदम बराबर है सर, एकदम क्लियर।
ओके।
अलग होता है, दिखता है
मैं
काला काला
मैं
ऐसा दिखता है, इसमें तकलू वाला है।
एकदम बराबर। कौन बोल रही है? आवाज आ रही है?
मैं म्यूट कर दिया
हाँ
हूँ।
आ रही है आ रही है।
ओके सर, मैं म्यूट कर ले रहा हूँ अपने को। ओके
ओके
सर।
ओके फाइन।
मैं थोड़ा बाहर मैं इसमें से ऐसे
हाँ जी।
ओपन रहेगा, मैं थोड़ा चाय पी लेंगे।
नो इश्यू नो इश्यू। गुड मॉर्निंग टू ऑल। आई होप सभी लोग हैं, मौजूद हैं क्लास में।
जी सर, गुड मॉर्निंग। जी सर।
गुड मॉर्निंग गुड मॉर्निंग।
सभी लोग हैं सर।
सभी लोग हैं ना? नाइस नाइस। तो मैं शुरू करूं?
सर
गुड मॉर्निंग।
गुड मॉर्निंग गुड
हेलो,
मॉर्निंग।
प्रसाद साहब बोल रहे हैं? प्रसाद साहब बोल रहे हैं?
हाँ बोल रहा हूँ बोल रहा हूँ।
हाँ, गुड मॉर्निंग सर, धनबाद से बीके सिंह बोल रहा हूँ सर, 04 सर।
गुड मॉर्निंग वीके सिंह साहब, कैसे हैं?
सर बस
सिस्टम आर्किटेक्चर। तो जीएसएम system architecture, once again just I will show the so this is the GSM system architecture, in which as we have discussed that this system was I mean the architecture will be divided into three parts to understand. As one is user part. That user part हम लोग कल जो डिस्कस किया था about मोबाइल फोन, that is सेल फोन of the user equipment, और इसके अंदर जो सिम कार्ड के बारे में थोड़ा डिस्कस किए थे. And next today, just I wanted to begin with the second part of this architecture, which is called as BSS, that is base station subsystem. So this base station subsystem is the actual hardware part of the network, and this is the entry and exit for a call process. Entry means any subscriber who wants to make a call within this 2G networks, they have to go through first of all BSS, and for exit also it is being connected to BSS. So that's why it is the entry into the network as well as exit for a call process. Okay, so we'll discuss a little bit about this BSS today. As you are seeing here, the BSS, as far as the architecture is concerned, that depends upon the what is the size
तब तक पानी
of the location area. So location area means the actual hardware you are setting up for all these BTS and BSC and MSC, all these devices. कितना area में आप सर्विस प्रोवाइड करना चाहते हैं, accordingly the size of that location area and the number of BTS. So first of all, a BSS is the combination of BTS and BSC. BTS is a base transceiver system and a BSC is base station controller. तो सबसे पहले BTS के बारे में अगर हम लोग डिस्कस करें तो BTS is a UHF radio equipment that is consisting of minimum of one transmitter and receiver circuit. It has to radiate the RF power and concerned frequencies. तो यहाँ पे हम लोग easily identify करने के लिए BTS is nothing but cell phone towers. हम लोग जो बाहर जो देखते हैं, that is what cell towers. The cell tower means the antenna system only we are looking on the top of the building or the towers and all these things. लेकिन बहुत सारे multiple antenna systems वहाँ पे कई तरीके का antenna system भी देखने को मिलेगा. अंदर जो है, as far as the hardware is concerned, it is a different approach and different concept. Different approach and different concept means, as in the earlier session we have seen the cellular design. उस cellular design में what is the size of the cell and उस cell के अंदर how many BTS is required. That is the practical approach. So the RF designers is going to provide that how many BTSs are required to cover in the particular area. What is the configuration? So configuration in the sense the requirement of the BTS in the location, that is one. The second is that how many BTSs will be required in that particular location. So this is the two different types of configuration. Of course, उसके बाद बहुत सारे parameters है इसके अंदर. तो सबसे पहले BTS, as we understanding that it is a basic on transmitter and receiver circuit. Hard, yeah, बोलिए.
BTS में जो एंटीना यूज किया जाता है,
क्या चीज?
BTS में जो एंटीना यूज किया जाता है, सेक्टराइज एंटीना,
हाँ,
सर इसका मतलब प्रॉपर्टीज क्या है?
हाँ मैं बताऊँ इसका प्रॉपर्टीज. I'll discuss now. ठीक है ना?
ओके सर.
This diagram is for 2G network, no?
हाँ, this is only 2G वो भी GSM. ठीक है ना? क्योंकि 2G में CDMA पे भी आता है, लेकिन हम लोग अभी GSM के बारे में डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. तो I will tell you what is your doubt exactly. So BTS का जो configuration हमने जो बताया, that is depending upon the traffic configurations, traffic densities. मतलब एक एरिया में हमें कितने ट्रैफिक को हैंडल करना पड़ता है, that is the first calculations. इसके बाद how many BTSs are required for handle that particular traffic. So ये दोनों correlated है. So what is the significance of this is that the basic BTS, which is having one transmitter and the receiver, which can handle 8 subscribers at a time. This is what is the designing aspect as far as 2G is concerned. So if say suppose only it can with the available one carrier frequency, दो चीज है, एक BTS with one trans receiver can handle 8 subscribers with one carrier frequency at one location. So this is the overall concept of the BTS traffic handling capacity. So now the question is that if say suppose if we want to handle more traffic, how many BTSs are required? So this is the second question. तो इसमें हमारा जो कॉन्फ़िगरेशन रिक्वायरमेंट्स है, खाली बीटीएस का जो ट्रांस रिसीवर्स बढ़ाना नहीं होता है, you should have a frequency spectrum availability. That means carriers उस लोकेशन में how many carriers are available और उस carriers के साथ how many BTSs can be configured. So this is there are two things. One is theoretical aspect. The another thing is practical aspect. Theoretical aspect में ये है a BTS consisting of one transceiver with one antenna system is the minimum configuration, and maximum configuration is that at one BTS location maximum 24 numbers of transceivers can be configured by extending the number of transceivers on the same BTS location. So this is what variation. तो जैसा कि हम लोग समझते हैं यहाँ पे, तो now just I will show you. Say this is one BTS. This BTS will have one transceiver as we are showing here. So, sorry. One moment. Yeah. So, so that अगर मान लीजिए हम इसको ज्यादा ट्रैफिक, जैसा कि एक ट्रांस रिसीवर एट वन बीटीएस लोकेशन अगर 8 सब्सक्राइबर्स को हैंडल कर सकता है, तो हाउ द पीपल आर हैंडलिंग द हाईएस्ट ट्रैफिक इन एनी ऑफ द लोकेशन. इसमें एक हार्डवेयर का जो रिक्वायरमेंट एक अलग चीज है. दूसरा हमारा मल्टीपल एक्सेस टेक्निक्स इज आल्सो टू डिफरेंट थिंग्स. तो ये दोनों मिला के हम मैक्सिमम ट्रैफिक को हम साइमल्टेनियसली हैंडल करते रहते हैं. So now what we are talking about is that the first thing is that as we are discussing now, एक BTS में कम से कम एक ट्रांस रिसीवर रहेगा. It depends upon the requirements of the traffic handling on that particular location. और ज्यादा से ज्यादा, that is the maximum 24 trans receivers can be located in one BTS site. So this is what is the configuration number. का तो कवरेज एरिया इस नंबर 1, क्योंकि आप लोग जानते हैं ज्यादा दूर कवर करने के लिए ज्यादा आरएफ पावर की जरूरत है. उस हिसाब से व्हाट इज द आरएफ पावर ऑफ ए बीटीएस फॉर ए पिकोसेल, व्हाट इज द आरएफ पावर ऑफ ए बीटीएस फॉर a macro cell also, it varies. Different outputs will be there. That is number 1. Number 2 is that whether one BTS is compulsorily required at one cell, is it correct or wrong? So it depending upon the coverage and the geographical conditions and the traffic के हिसाब से कभी कभी वन सेल में एक BTS हो सकता है, या 2 सेल में एक BTS हो सकता है, या 3 सेल में एक BTS हो सकता है. So that depending upon the traffic requirements on those areas. So इसलिए you can see that जैसा कि आपने पूछा गया है, यहाँ पे जो एंटीना सिस्टम जो यूज करते हैं, there are different types of antenna system. तो सबसे पहले एंटीना सिस्टम का जो मेन फंक्शन है is to trans and receive frequencies from the mobiles has to be received as well as transmitted. That is the function. The single antenna is required for the transmission and receive. लेकिन यहाँ पे जो डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ एंटीना कॉन्फ़िगरेशंस भी देखने को मिलेगा. Sometimes some antennas the RF propagation is in omnibus direction. That means omnidirectional antenna system. तो omnidirectional antenna system में क्या होता है? What is the RF energy is being radiated into all the 360 degrees. That is what is the basic omnidirectional antenna का जो quality. दूसरा जो आपका जो antenna systems which are very directional. That means it covers only one specific direction. मतलब कितना एंगल में वो कवर करने के लिए जो रेडिएशन पैटर्न्स डिजाइन किया है, those antenna systems are called as sectored antennas. मतलब say for example एक सर्कल जो है, if you are dividing into 3 sectors, that means each sector from the center it covers 120 degrees of angle, so that we can make the cell into 3 sectored geographical division, so that 3 different directions, because depending upon the movement of the mobiles and the path analysis, so they are going to be distribute this antenna system into 3 directions. So 3 different sectored antennas are oriented for coverage of. तो इसमें advantage क्या है? 3 antenna systems are being used for 3 frequencies, 3 different frequencies, so that the same location, the more people at 3 different locations can be covered, and then the maximum traffic can be handled. So like that, depending upon the path of RF signal and the traffic which is supposed to be available, and the orientation of this antenna systems will be carried out. That is number 1. So whether it is omnidirectional or sectored antennas, so the designing aspect is according to the polarization of the RF signal. So you know better that what are the polarization effects, whether it's a vertical or horizontal, in what way the RF signal has to be carried depending upon the geographical conditions. और दूसरी बात ये है, यहाँ पे आपको within one antenna you will have a multiple antenna array systems. Multiple antenna इसलिए है आपको you have this space diversity techniques are being used here. Space diversity means 2 different antennas are provided for reception of the incoming signal. When one signal strength fades in one direction, in the second direction, the second antenna is being received. So that is what is called as space diversity techniques. हम लोग जो earlier micro system में use करते हैं, the same concept is also being used in our GSM antenna systems also, so that the maximum connectivity from the mobile to BTS is being available. So this is what is the configuration arrangements. So depending upon the coverage areas, that means how many cells in the location area has to be planned accordingly by the service provider. मतलब मान लो 100 किलोमीटर स्क्वायर 100 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर्स एरिया या 10 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर्स या 50 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर्स depending upon the geographical area. So the RF engineers will be surveyed on that locations and optimizing the maximum RF signal availability under the complete cell area in all directions will be measured at the time of RF planning, and then the location of the BTS will be decided. At what location and how many transceivers are required. Because यहाँ पे दो चीजें हैं, प्लानिंग में एग्जिस्टिंग ट्रैफिक और प्रपोज्ड इंक्रीज ट्रैफिक का भी हम जो हार्डवेयर की जरूरतें हैं वो चीज भी ध्यान रखते हुए हम वहां पे बना के रखना पड़ता है. सो दिस इज ऑल डन बाय द आरएफ प्लानिंग प्रोसेस. बट यहाँ पे हम the concept what we have to understand is that the BTS is again the UHF transmitter and receiver where it operates on the GSM frequencies, and it is the main link is for connection of the mobile phone into the network. That is basically we have to understand about the BTS. So now just I will show as yesterday we have seen that some of the functions of the mobile station. Similarly, here also you have specific functions which is to be performed by this BTS also. Just I'll give you. So here you can say the BTS will have several transceivers which allow it to serve several different frequencies and different sectors of the cell if it is in case of sectorized, and the structure and the functions remains the same regardless of the VHF, I mean wireless technology. Now you can see it here that the BTS has the following units as a transceiver. It is referred as DRX, that is driver receivers, and basically it does transmission and reception of the signals, and also sending and reception of the signals to and from the network entities like from BSC, and it will also have the power amplifier as far as the hardware is concerned, because without power amplification you cannot generate the output RF signal or the RF carrier. So this the amplifier levels may be varied according to the system requirement, that is 1 watt or 10 watts or maximum 30 watts can be used as the case of BTS. And of course you will have the combiners which of course different configurations may be there, क्योंकि कितना antenna system use कर रहे हैं वहाँ पे, how you are diversifying these sectors as well as frequencies. So depending upon the configuration you have the hardware variations also. So you have this duplexers for separating the sending and receive signals. As old section में हम लोग जो directional to separate these isolators or circulators जो use करते थे. Similarly, nowadays in the digital these signals, so we are calling them as the duplexers. So it isolate the trans and receive signal. Okay, and so the basic functions of the BTS which is to be performed is radio transmission in GSM format employing the frequency hopping techniques and spatially diversified antennas, as I just now discussed that. The radio transmission in GSM format, because every RF signal is having its own format. So definitely when the BTS we are using for the GSM, so it should be in the GSM format, and it should be capable of two things: the spatially diverse antenna techniques, what we are using as just mentioned for you, and also frequency hopping techniques. Frequency hopping means one type of diversity, changing the frequency continuously for specific applications. So it should be capable of all those things. Then it should have the equalization algorithms because the signal which are received from different mobiles with different directions, so which causes some effects of the multi-path propagation टेक्निक्स की वजह से सभी सिग्नल्स को ये इक्वलाइज करना पड़ता है, whether it is a reflected wave or a line of sight waves. So depending upon that, ultimately when it is receiving the signal from the mobile, it has to be processed for further application. So that is called as this equalization process. Then usually, as yesterday I told you that in the mobile also you are having this coding and decoding process of this radio channels. The same process will be available here also because the channels are different, and the coding techniques, because depending upon the data requirements, that is also one of the process it has to be adapted. And then encryption of this transmission data streams, that means masking this original data so that the data security parameter we can understand, as yesterday we have discussed. And similarly, you have the protocols, some control protocols it has to follow for transmission and reception process. Because यहाँ पे हम बाद में देखेंगे कि what are the various levels and layers. तब जैसा कि हम डाटा कम्युनिकेशन में बेसिक फिजिकल लेयर से लेके 7 लेयर स्ट्रक्चर जो होता है, यहाँ पे भी कुछ लेयर स्ट्रक्चर है वो भी फॉलो करना पड़ता है, इंक्लूडिंग MS, BTS, DSC and MSC, all the devices which are making as a network and the communication is being established. So that has to be continuously monitored. So such protocols should be processed during its transmission of a data link, radio data links. Of course, it has also followed the transmission of the signaling messages. Signaling message is an internal information which is required between the all the devices, a mobile और BTS का बीच में, या मोबाइल BTS और BSC का बीच में, ये सारे चीजें आपको some behind the screen कुछ signaling process करना पड़ता है, वो चीज हम यहाँ पे this BTS also has to be performed. And similarly, the BTS should also have this O&M, that is operations and maintenance भी करना पड़ता है हम लोगों को. It should be also support from external device, and then we can do some operations and maintenance things. BTS. So briefly, these are some of the functions which is supposed to be performed by BTS. Okay. Then the second object in this series of architecture is called as base station control. So a base station controller is a device which controls so many number of BTSs in that particular location area. So यहाँ पे what is the capacity of the BSC and what it is exactly control the BTSs. That is what the general frequently we are going to ask the question. तो एक BSC कितना BTS को control कर सकता है? Because the BTS is directly connected to the BSc, respective of the distances. So, and the location area is also not predefined because depending upon the coverage area, what the maximum network is going to be performed in that location area. So, थोड़ा वेरिएशन है इसके अंदर, लेकिन ओवरऑल एक बीएससी कितना बीटीएस को कंट्रोल कर सकता है. तो जैसा कि हमने यहाँ पे बताया है, 1 BTS may be with 1 transceiver. Similarly, maximum up to 24 transceivers. तो इस प्रोसेस में just we will discuss as a capacity of the BSc how many BTS it is going to be controlled means it is only the number of transceivers exactly. So as on today, 1 BSc may control 2000 BTSs. That means transceivers exactly. Okay, that capacity varies depending upon the capacity of the BSc. So that is what is the first thing we have to understand as the location area is concerned. Then what exactly it has to do is that it is going to control the radio channels, the frequencies, and the call handing over process between the BTSs and their jurisdiction, and paging the mobile stations for an incoming call. This is the main function which is going to perform by. So सारी BTSs जो इसके साथ में जो connected है, so that is going to be controlled. What are the various radio channels to be operated for this BTSs is being controlled by BSc. That is number 1. Number 2 is that how to hand over the call. अगर मान लो एक subscriber is moving from one BTS location to another BTS location, so that the call should not be interrupted and it has to be handing over from one BTS to another BTS. So this process is also done by BSc. And say suppose आपको कोई incoming call आ रहा हो, तो आपको ढूंढना है, मतलब आप किस BTS location में available. Of course, this is being done by some दूसरा जो database है उससे होता है, लेकिन the BSc has to do the paging process. Paging means selectively it is going to distribute your information to the concerned BTS. So these are the few functions which are supposed to be done by the BSc. So the number of BTSs in that particular location area are connected to BSc, and this BSc in turn may be connected to MSc. So this is what is the structure we have seen in that the earlier diagram. So this is ideally the one BCS which is connected more number of BTS. So together with BTS and the BSc is calling as base station sub. Okay, so any doubts so far?
Excuse me, one एक MSc के अंदर में कितना BSc कलेक्ट होता है सर?
हाँ, तो ये भी एक सिस्टम आर्किटेक्चर के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. So it may have minimum 1 BSc or maximum maybe more than 1 BSc also required. But that depending upon the size of the MSc. मतलब लोकेशन एरिया, जैसा कि आपको मैं एक एग्जांपल बता दूं. Actually these areas are divided into zones. Zones are having certain dimensions. Say for example, the main description is that all India is divided into 4 zones: north, east, west, south. But within one location, say northern location, maybe there are so many location areas. Say for example, Lucknow is one area. Yeah, some other places, Allahabad is some other area. Like that, it is redistributed into different locations. So each location area will have one MSc, and that MSc is going to control by whether it is depending on one BSc or it may be more than one BSc. Say the capacity of the MSc is say suppose 13 से 15 लाख सब्सक्राइबर को अगर वो एक स्विचिंग कर सकता है, तो आप अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं व्हाट इज द कैपेसिटी ऑफ द बीएससी. सो सपोज हाउ मेनी 2000 बीटीएस ट्रांस रिसीव 2000 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 8 सब्सक्राइबर्स प्लस 16000 सब्सक्राइबर्स कैन बी डन विथ वन बीएससी. सो एमएससी कैन हैव मोर नंबर ऑफ बीएससीज. आई थिंक आपको समझ में आया होगा. हु हैज आस्क्ड?
यस सर, यस सर.
सुब्रता घोष.
जी सर.
हाँ, तो आपको समझ में आया ये जो एक्चुअल कैपेसिटीज अलग अलग हो जाता है, तो दैट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द ट्रैफिक ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर लोकेशन एरिया. ठीक है.
मोर क्वेश्चन सर, ये बीटीएस में जो इक्विपमेंट्स रहते हैं,
जी हाँ,
वो सर कहीं रिमोट एक्सेस करके उनका स्टेटस देखा जा सकता है?
बिल्कुल देखा जा सकता है. वही तो हमने कहा ना, ऑपरेशंस एंड मेंटेनेंस सेंटर विच इज रिमोट लोकेशन. आप रिमोट लोकेशन होकर के भी आप एक्सेस कर सकते हैं थ्रू लैन नेटवर्क्स.
ओके ओके, थैंक यू सर.
वो प्रोविजन है, क्योंकि नॉर्मली यहाँ जो मेंटेनेंस कैसा होता है, the OMC center, that is operations and maintenance center, is available at MSc location. So MSc के पास जो लोग वहां पे बैठते हैं, they can access through this internal connectivity through BSc and BTS. So that is one concept. Directly also you can connect, or remotely also you can access the BTS to monitor the various performance analysis of the BTS can be done. Okay. Right. So the BSS is consisting of these two things, and now the main process, which is called as the MSc, that is it is a part of network and switching subsystem, which is NSS. So the network and switching subsystems is consisting of basically for switching functions of the GSM, and it may consisting of more databases needed for the subscriber and the mobility management. So iska jo main function of this NSS is to manage the communication between the MS and other users of the network. So it is a central part of the entire hardware of this network. So it is the central core area. So NSS is the main part, or you can say heart of the system, normal usually. So the first thing here we have that is called as mobile switching center. So which is called as MSc normally. So it is the one thing as an exchange, you can understand easily, but it is more than an exchange. So why we have called it as an exchange means it has to perform the switching process. The first, आपको call of the different people or the users of the different mobiles, which is processed through this MSc area. So it has to switch those calls according to the other end. That means the other end, whether it is within the MSc area or other network areas. So this process is the main thing. So that's why it is called as mobile switching center. So that is the primary job of mobile switching. But in addition to that, a lot of what we can say, lot of processing is involved to make a call. इतना आसान नहीं है एक कॉल जो है खाली स्विचिंग करने से हो जाए, जैसा कि हमारा टेलीफोन एक्सचेंज में होता है. So that is very a small process when you are comparing with this MSc. So here we have a different approach with the help of the other databases. So that we will also see here. So basically, there are 4 databases we can understand here, important databases. So in which one is which is called as home location register. So this is HLR. I mean, so this HLR means home location register is the main database which is essential for every MSc. It is a mandatory this database. So what is the main function of this HLR is that it has to store the complete information of your mobile subscribers data, and it is being permanently stored in this, including the mobile number, type of customer, classification of service, all these details what we are giving at the time of this SIM application में जो भी information देते हैं, the सारी information is being kept in this home location list because it is very much needed for the MSc, because every time whenever you are accessing into the network or a call has to be processed, so some interrogation process is being carried out between MSc and HLR so that this information is permanently required for the process of call. So that is what is basically. तो जैसा कि हमने कहा है, what will be the capacity of the MSc on that particular location? So it may be 15 lakh subscriber अगर capacity है and they have registered that particular location area, all the informations of that 15 lakh subscribers is available in the HLR of that location area MSc. So that is what the basic function of home location register. Similarly, there is another database which is called as visitor location register. Of course, one more application is there for the HLR, which is called as location updates will also be stored in the home location. Location registers means updating. आप किस location में हैं, that location is being updated in the HLR continuously, so that it is easy for the MSc to transfer the call to that particular location. So that's why location updates of the mobile subscriber is being kept in the. So one is the subscriber related information of that particular MSc area. The second one is the location updates will be stored in the. So these are the main function for the home location. As the second database we are talking about is visitors location register. This is also important database, but it is a temporary database. Temporary इसलिए है. This is exclusively meant for the visitors to this MSc area. क्योंकि जैसा कि मान लीजिए आप दिल्ली में हैं, आप सिकंदराबाद आए हैं, तो सिकंदराबाद का MSc जब आपका कॉल प्रोसेस करेगा तो बार बार आपका दिल्ली MSc में जाके और वहां के HLR से आपको बार बार ये करने की जरूरत नहीं. इट इज अ लेंथी प्रोसेस. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू योर लोकेशन, आप मान लीजिए आज सिकंदराबाद में है तो सिकंदराबाद का जो VLR में आपका जो temporary database is being transferred and there is no need to interrogate your original HLR with your MSc. So that's why this VLR is the database for the temporary informations of the visiting customers or the roaming subscribers will be available till the subscriber remains in this MSc location area. जब आप यहाँ से मूव होके दूसरा MSc एरिया में चले जाएंगे, then your information is being transferred to next MSc VLR. So like that, whenever you are moving to different locations of the different MSc areas, so your information database is being transferred to different VLRs. So this is what is it is a temporary database. Just 1 minute pause देता हूँ, थोड़ा announcement हो रहा है. अगर जी एक माउस देना है यार, थोड़ा ये माउस ठीक से काम नहीं करता. Okay, I'm back again. थोड़ा सा announcement हो रहा था, इसलिए हमने pause दिया. So these are the two databases which is connected with the MSc. So every MSc will have these databases compulsory. It should have a HLR, it should have a VLR also. Then the other databases, you have this equipment identity register. So this equipment identity register is called as EIR. So this EIR, which is normally आप लोग जानते हैं, what is the equipment identity number, that is IMEI, International Mobile Equipment Identity Number. ये जब भी आपको फोन आप खरीदते हैं, so this is the series number of that particular phone. It is an international practice that every phone will have its separate IMEI number, so that this IMEI number is being tracked. Normally tracking के लिए इस्तेमाल किया जाता है. So whenever you are making the call into the network, so that this database is going to store your IMEI numbers for process. So that is what is the purpose of this EIR. So every MSc is having the equipment identity register also. Then you have another database which is called as Authentication Center, AUC. So this is also one type of security device. That means it provides the authentication of the subscriber and allows you the proper call processing के लिए it is being useful, and also the data encryption process is also carried out through this authentication center. One type of security parameters. One is authentication, and the second one is the security parameters of the data transmission and reception is being carried out. So these four databases, that is HLR, VLR, EIR, and your AUC, all these four databases are required and which are available with the MSc. Every MSc will have all these four databases are must. So with the help of this four databases, now the MSc is going to fulfill the requirement of the call process. So that is what is the importance of the. और इसके अलावा इस डायग्राम में आप जो देख रहे हैं, one is the PSTN, which is also connected to MSC, or a local public switch telephone network का जो landline telephone का साथ में जो connectivity जरूरत है, तो you have to be connected with the MSC. And जैसा कि हमने जो बताया है, the remote operation for this local as well as remote. So operations and maintenance center OMC will be connected to this MSC so that it can do the O&M functions of MSC, it can do the O&M functions of BSC, and it can also as the function for BTS also. So the overall OMC is being available at the remote location. You can also access from remote locations to the concerned BTSs. Concern means जो जिस MSC के साथ में जुड़ा हुआ हो, that is being possible. Okay, so this is basically about the architecture of this GSM. So और भी और चीजें हैं यहाँ पे. That is what are the other things we can do. So basically,
सर एक्सक्यूज सर
हाँ बोलिए.
सर OMC क्या MSC जहाँ पे होता है वहीं पे होता है कि फिर अलग जगह पे होता है?
वहीं पे होता है, नॉर्मली वहीं पे होता है. और इसमें दो चीजें हैं, OMC और OMCR, दो अलग चीजें हैं. OMCR can be available at BSC also. अगर BSC और MSC co-located है, एक ही जगह पे हैं, तो एक ही जगह पे रहेगा. और दूसरा, अगर मान लो BSC दूसरी जगह पे है, it is far away from the MSC, then you can also another OMC from that BSC also you can access. So there is nothing much difference whether it is located at, but normally MSC के साथ में ही रहता है. Okay, is it clear? I think, is it clear for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so just we have gone through with the different devices which are taking part of this particular architecture. लेकिन अभी बहुत सारे चीजें हैं इसमें, कुछ और टेक्निकल थिंग्स वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड. तो सबसे पहले उसमें जैसे कि हमने जो GSM स्पेक्ट्रम के बारे में अभी हम लोग डिस्कस नहीं किया है. सो GSM स्पेक्ट्रम इज द मेन कॉन्सेप्ट फॉर अंडरस्टैंडिंग व्हाट इज द एक्चुअल रेडियो फ्रीक्वेंसीज वी आर यूजिंग फॉर आवर GSM नेटवर्क्स. तो फिलहाल हम अभी सिर्फ यहाँ पे क्लासिफिकेशन है GSM में 3 बैंड्स ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसीज को यूज किया जा रहा है. उसमें आपको GSM 900 बैंड और GSM 1800 बैंड एंड GSM 1900 बैंड, 3 अलग अलग बैंड्स ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसीज में GSM को ऑपरेट किया जा सकता है. लेकिन हम सिर्फ अभी इस वक्त हम सिर्फ GSM 900 के बारे में ही बात करेंगे. Because similarly the frequency spectrums are different for 1800 and 1900, so उसका बैंड अलग है. तो हम ये कोशिश करेंगे जो हमारा जो 2G नेटवर्क्स है, they are mainly operating on the GSM 900 megahertz बैंड में ऑपरेट किया जा रहा है. तो उसके बारे में जस्ट आई विल try to give the technical details of this band of frequencies. तो सबसे पहले यहाँ पे हम जैसा कि हम इनिशियल में मोड ऑफ ऑपरेशंस जो सिंप्लेक्स, हाफ ड्यूप्लेक्स, फुल ड्यूप्लेक्स जो बोला है, तो आवर एंटायर GSM एंड अदर मोबाइल नेटवर्क्स आर फुल्ली ड्यूप्लेक्स कम्युनिकेशन हम लोग एक्सेस करते हैं. तो फुल ड्यूप्लेक्स मोड ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन एक्सेस करने के लिए the main requirement is we should have a 2, that means 1 pair of frequencies are required, because we have to communicate with the MS and BTS in a bidirectional fashion. So one is, which is called as uplink, that is from MS to BTS is one link, and that is called as uplink, and another link which is called as downlink is from BTS to MS is called as down. So दो अलग-अलग links को establish करना पड़ता है, so that then only we are able to have the complete duplex mode of communication. This is what is the restriction for us in the VHF communication. हम एक ही frequency को हम uplink और downlink दोनों मतलब वहाँ पे use करते हैं, so इसीलिए एक ही बार either we can trans or we can reserve because of the same. अगर वहाँ पे भी हमें दो अलग-अलग frequency होते, then we can able to establish simultaneously. So is GSM 900 में, so there is a different spectrum has been allocated for uplink as well as downlink. So आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं, the uplink frequency is 890 to 915 megahertz and 935 to 960 megahertz is the downlink band. So दो अलग bands की यहाँ पे जरूरत है. So in this band, so now what are the available channels we are going to get it from this available bandwidth. तो जैसा कि आप यहाँ पे देखे हैं, दोनों कंडीशन में, that means 890 to 915, 935 to 960 दोनों में आपका जो बैंडविड्थ है, that is 25 megahertz. तो आप देख सकते हैं. So the bandwidth available is 25 megahertz. So how to translate this bandwidth into number of carriers divided by this to 200 kilohertz as यहाँ पे है. So bandwidth is divided by channel spacing. So ultimately you are going to get it 125 channels. So the bandwidth is 25 megahertz. The channel spacing means the separation between one channel to another channel of the carrier within the same band. So this is how we are going to translate this. The bandwidth is divided by channel spacing. You are going to get 125 channels in a theoretical aspect. लेकिन practically यहाँ पे क्या होता है? As I have mentioned that we are having only 124 channels. Why 124 channels means one channel spacing is being used for guard band. This one space is required for making the frame structure accommodation. So that's why that space of 200 kilohertz is being utilized for specific band, so that the actual available channels will be 124. एक number of channels for the end. दूसरा यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं, the duplex spacing will be 45 megahertz. तो 45 megahertz इसलिए है, ये आपको मेंटेन करना पड़ेगा between the transmission and the reception. That means हम जिस चैनल्स पे चैनल्स को हम यूज करेंगे, आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं. You can say suppose the first carrier frequency you are using as a 890 megahertz. The corresponding frequency for downlink should be used by 935 megahertz. So the duplex difference between these two, 935 and 890, is 45 megahertz. So this is what is called as duplex spacing. कोई भी आप frequency लेंगे, so इस तरह का separation आपको 45 megahertz का जो spacing है, वो आपको maintain करना पड़ेगा. So this is what
this
is.
portion.
हाँ, बोलिए.
This portion once more repeat, sir. 45 megahertz.
तो एक काम करेंगे, लेट अस हैव ए ब्रेक 5 मिनट्स, उसके बाद कंटिन्यू करेंगे। हैव ए ब्रेक 5 मिनट्स, विल कंटिन्यू।
ओके
जी, तो सवाल किसने किया है अभी? Somebody has asked to explain this again. उमेश कुमार, उमेश जी आप हैं लाइन में?
एक्सक्यूज मी सर,
हाँ बोलिए बोलिए, क्या नाम है? नाम बताओ यार।
सुब्रत घोष।
सुब्रतो घोष, यस। क्योंकि सामने होता पहचान लेंगे, लेकिन यहाँ पे ऑनलाइन में दिक्कत हो रही है। सो डोंट थिंक अदरवाइज, प्लीज।
यस सर। नहीं सर, 45 मेगाहर्ट्ज का जो स्पेसिंग आप बता रहे हैं उस पोर्शन को थोड़ा सा रिपीट कर दीजिए।
हाँ, 45 मेगाहर्ट्ज कुछ नहीं है, जो हम यहाँ पे जो दो बैंड ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसीज दिया है ना, एक मिनट, इसमें दो, एक तो ये हुआ आपका 890 to 915, दूसरा 935 से 960 तक। तब हम बातचीत करने के लिए, मान लो आप अपना मोबाइल से आपका नियरेस्ट बीटीएस के साथ में जब आप कम्युनिकेशन एस्टैब्लिश करना चाहेंगे या बातचीत कर रहे हैं, तो आपको दो फ्रीक्वेंसीज की जरूरत है। मतलब एक अपलिंक फ्रीक्वेंसी और एक डाउनलिंक फ्रीक्वेंसी। तो अपलिंक फ्रीक्वेंसी में कौन सा कैरियर, जैसा कि यहाँ पे हमने 124 कैरियर का जो ट्रांसलेट किया है, दैट इज यहाँ पे 890 to 915 का बीच में जो बैंडविड्थ है आपका 25 मेगाहर्ट्ज है। तो इस 25 मेगाहर्ट्ज को हमने क्या किया है 200 किलोहर्ट्ज के साथ में। तो नाउ यू आर गेटिंग द 125 चैनल। सो चैनल मतलब क्या है, वन फ्रीक्वेंसी इज 890। तो अपलिंक फ्रीक्वेंसी जब आप यूज करते हैं और अपलिंक, तो करस्पॉन्डिंग डाउनलिंक फ्रीक्वेंसी इज ए पेयर। सो पेयर मतलब यहाँ पे इट शुड बी 935। ये 890 और 935 का जो डिफरेंस है दैट इज 45 मेगा। आप कोई भी चैनल आप लेंगे, इस तरह का स्पेसिंग, मतलब आपका जो ट्रांस फ्रीक्वेंसी अगर 890 मेगाहर्ट्ज है, आपका जो रिसीव फ्रीक्वेंसी मस्ट बी 935 होता है। दिस इज पेयरिंग। तो इन दोनों का बीच का जो डिफरेंस है दैट इज 45। अभी समझ में आया शुभ्रतो?
थैंक यू सर।
ओके, आई थिंक इट इज क्लियर फॉर यू नाउ। नाइस। तो ये चीज जो है, वैसे आपको जरूरत नहीं है, दिस इज ए टेक्निकल पार्ट, वो अपने आप पेयरिंग कर लेता है जो भी। राजीव जी कुछ आप म्यूट रखे अपना, हाँ सब डिस्टर्बेंसेस कम। ओके फाइन। So now let us go for the next chapter, which is what are the multiple access techniques we are using in the DSM. So you know that we know the multiplexing techniques generally हम लोग को PCM के साथ में या FDM फ्रीक्वेंसी डिवीजन मल्टीप्लेक्सिंग, टाइम डिवीजन मल्टीप्लेक्सिंग अलग अलग तरीके का यूज करते हैं, लेकिन यहाँ पे कुछ डिफरेंस है। इसीलिए मतलब जो मोबाइल सब्सक्राइबर हैज टू एक्सेस द नेटवर्क, so that's why what are the different types of accessing techniques we are using for entering into the network, vice versa. तो ये चीज यहाँ पे बहुत ही जरूरी है। तो in that the techniques what we are going to use is called as multiple access techniques. तो मल्टीपल एक्सेस टेक्निक्स का जो ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है, it has to combine the signals from different sources into a common transmission medium in such a way that at destinations the different channels can be separated without mutual interference. So this is what is the concept of multiple access techniques. So in a different way we can understand like that. Multiple access systems permit many users to share a common medium most efficient manner. This is what is called as multiple access technique. तो आप लोग जानते हैं यहाँ पे हमारे पास तीन तरीके का मल्टीपल एक्सेस टेक्निक्स आर अवेलेबल। इसमें one is frequency division multiple access, which is called as FDMA, and time division multiple access, that is called as TDMA, and code division multiple access, which is called as CDMA. So CDMA itself is a different, just like a GSM mobile communication. तो CDMA नाम से ही अलग से मोबाइल का जो टेक्नोलॉजी अवेलेबल है presently. So but what we have to understand for this GSM, the GSM में हम लोग दोनों यूज कर रहे हैं, that is combination of FDMA plus TDMA, दोनों मिला के हम GSM में यूज कर रहे हैं. So here in GSM we are using both the FDMA and TDM. So CDMA is a different technology. We don't worry about this CDMA right now. So let us understand that what is this differences? What are the differences between all these two techniques? So in FDMA, users share the radio spectrum in frequency domain. That means each individual user is being given by one specific carrier frequency. So every individual agar alag alag frequency use karta hai, that means they are separated in frequency. Simple logic. एक जगह पे या अलग अलग जगहों पे, तो users are using into the access of network. If they are using a separate frequency, that type of access technique is called as FDMA. Similarly, in TDMA, users share the radio spectrum in time domain. तब जैसा कि हमारा जो PCM concept है, every user is allocated one time slot at separate time. तो similarly यहाँ, लेकिन यहाँ पे जो multiplexing process है वो अलग है. So that's why we have to see in a different way. And before going to explain that FDMA and TDMA, so in CDMA, each user is assigned a pseudo random codes. So यहाँ पे हम तीनों में एक साथ अगर देखेंगे, तो FDMA में we are separated in frequency, और TDMA में separated in time, and in CDMA we are separated in code. So these are the three different techniques with the frequency, time and code. So this is what the best use we are going to understand about the concept of this access techniques. Same thing we can see it here in this diagram, how this FDMA and TDMA are being used for the GSM techniques. So here you can see in this first diagram. So this is frequency and this is power, and this is time. The different technical things we can understand. And here user 1, user 2, and user 3. So now you can see that the users are separated in frequency. That means इसका frequency अलग है, इसका frequency अलग है, user 3 का frequency अलग है. Say suppose this is F3 and F2 and this is F1. So this is what the division of frequency. Okay, so this is what we can understand about the frequency division. Whereas if we are using both, here you can see that the time is allocated for user 1, the same F1, and user 2 is also using the same frequency F2 but in different times. You can see that इसकी जो timing है अलग है, इसकी timing अलग है. So this is what is the sharing of the time with the same frequency. So this is the block of subscribers. So this is F1, again this is F2, this is F3. So F1 is shared by 3 subscribers at 3 different timings. F2 is being used by 3 different subscribers with 3 different times. So this is what is called as the FDMA and TDMA is being used by. I think this is it clear or any doubt? यहाँ पे पूछ लीजिएगा. It is very important. तो हम लोग फ्रीक्वेंसी डिवीजन एक्सेस और टाइम डिवीजन एक्सेस को किस तरीके से दोनों मिला के हम इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं. आई होप इट इज क्लियर. द नेक्स्ट साइड और कुछ क्लैरिटी आ जाएगा. तो this is what the FDMA versus TDMA. So we can see that in one TDMA frame, which is carrying the 8 time slots. So these time slots are representing the subscriber TS0 to TS7. So this is called as one TDMA frame. And this is being shared by F1. That means what? The same frequency of F1 is being shared by 8 subscribers at different times. This is what exactly we have to understand the FDMA and the TDMA concept, how it is being used. So like that F2, again using the same at the different subscribers. So up to TS0 to TS7. F3 is also using the same concept, F0, TS0 to TS7. So जितना भी frequencies है उतना अलग अलग frames बनेंगे. So उतना subscribers are distributed in different times. So this is what is called as the utilization of the combination of FDMA and TDMA. Okay, then this is how what we have. So यहाँ पे एक चीज आपको ये देखना है. Each pair of this uplink and downlink channels called as absolute radio frequency channel, which is normally called as ARFC. ARFC means आपका जो carrier frequency आपको अपलिंक और डाउनलिंक को क्या है वो ये बताता है. मतलब आपका जो टोटल बैंडविड्थ में हम क्या क्या फ्रीक्वेंसीज को. सो नाउ फॉर एग्जांपल 890 और अपलिंक and 915 or downlink. So these are this is pair, and this is the actual called as absolute radio frequency channel. So I hope you understand this. तो हम अपलिंक और डाउनलिंक का जो भी कैरियर फ्रीक्वेंसी हम लोग यूज करते हैं, that is called as absolute radio frequency channels. So like that हम कितना चैनल्स हम लोग यूज कर रहे हैं? 124 with the separation of 200 kilometers. So this is briefly about this FDMA and TDMA. Any doubt यहाँ पे और कोई डाउट है FDMA और TDMA के बीच में? यस, ओके। मैं थोड़ा सा ब्रीफली यहाँ पे ये बताना चाहूंगा क्योंकि a lot of board work is required. So usually हम लोग एक चीज हम यहाँ पे कनेक्ट करना चाहते हैं. What are the user interfaces for your? तो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं how this mobile is connected with the BTS. So this is one user interface, and from BTS to BSC another user interface, and from BSC to MSC is another user interface. So these are all called as interfaces. Interface is nothing but a physical or logical connectivity. तो physical connectivity में हम लोग एक चीज है, because the MS2 BTS is what we are calling is exactly air interface. Okay. So air interface means through radio. Both are radio. MS is radio and BTS is also radio. So both are connected with the air interface. So that's why here it is called as air interface. It was written. And UM means universal mobile interface. So बाकी BTS और BSC और BSC to MSC इन तीनों के बीच में जो यहाँ पे जो ABC इंटरफेस या A इंटरफेस अलग अलग प्रोटोकॉल्स के लिए दिया है, but basically the basic links are of 2 Mbps. हमारा जो लिंक है is 2 Mbps links. That is हमारा जो भी SDH में जो 2 MB links जो use करते हैं, the same links are being used with the same SDH network, OFC backbone network with SDH equipments. We are using the connectivity between the BTS to BSC, BSC to MSC, and of course MSC to another MSC also. If you are having gateway MSC here, so it will also be connected with 2 MB links. अब कितना 2 MB links की जरूरत है, that depends upon the traffic again. वो चीज, so these things are called as the interfaces for between the entities. मतलब MS to BTS, BTS to BSC, BSC to MSC, all this vice versa, to be understand as a interfaces between all the devices. So here we can understand that the UM interface is also called as air interface. Is the interface between the BTS और MS का बीच में जो connectivity है. So it support the universal use of any compatible mobile in a GSM network. कोई भी mobile हो, मतलब which is to be operated in the GSM environment में, तो आपको connect कर सकते हैं. So like that, different names has been given. So here the main thing is that what it is supposed to carry. It is supposed to carry the voice and data traffics. So यहाँ पे voice traffic और data traffic और इसके अलावा signaling information between the BSC and BTS. ये तीनों चीजें आपको exchange करना पड़ता है. So to carry these, specific interfaces are required. So that interface is nothing but 2 MB interface. Okay. So like that, we have so many other interfaces. The main thing is we have to understand here is a 2 MB digital connectivity or the physical layer of this interconnecting the BSC, MSC and the BTS. Okay. Okay, any doubt of connectivity? इन तीनों का बीच में जो कनेक्शन के बारे में कुछ डाउट हो तो पूछ लीजिएगा. Any specific doubts here? How to connect the BTS to BSc or BSc to MSc? How many? So actually यहाँ पे जो कनेक्शन की जो है में एक थोड़ा सा और कॉन्सेप्ट है, that is basically about the what is the data rates we are connecting to them. So that I will try to give before this logical channels. So that is how what we are going to do. How the digital transmission is being carried out in the GSM. इसके ऊपर जो डिपेंड करेगा हम इस 2MB लिंक्स को किस तरीके से हम यूज कर रहे हैं फिजिकली. हाउ मेनी 2MB लिंक्स आर रिक्वायर्ड फॉर interfacing between the BTS to BSc, BSc to MSc and vice versa. तो यहाँ पे आप ये देख सकते हैं how the digital transmission is being carried out between the MS to BTS and vice versa. That is very main thing. बाकी तो आपका जो backbone is because of PD, I mean SDH links, so it is easily understand the 2MB concept. तो सबसे पहले यहाँ पे हमारा जो कॉन्सेप्ट हमें जो समझना चाहिए वो ये है MS और BTS का बीच में कम्युनिकेशन किस तरीके से होता है, ये एक्चुअल कोडिंग प्रोसेस में किस तरीके से किया जाता है. हम लोग जो जब फीचर्स के बारे में जब बात किया था, one is coding and decoding process during transmission and reception. So what is that particular specific coding is required and why it is required? What is the need for coding? तो हम लोग स्पीच जब कन्वर्ट करते हैं, that is our speech is an analog information and that information has to be converted into digital format. तो हम जो normal PCM concept में we are straight away converting with the sampling and all this process as a PCM TDM. So we are converting the data rate into 64 kilobits. So this 64 kilobits is a normal process. यहाँ पे भी same ऐसा ही होता है. The voice is converting into 64 kilobits. But now the thing is that when the mobile is, whether it is capable of transmitting this 64 kilobits through the available RF frame, that is the main criteria. So यहाँ पे at the time of GSM, that is in the 2G concept, the what we can say, the data rate is very high. That means the bandwidth in case of the speech about the 64 kilobits is very high for transmitting and receiving from MS to BTS and BTS to MS. Why? Because क्योंकि अभी तो हम लोग तो MB मतलब 40 MB 70 MB even we are hoping ahead 1 GB data को भी हम लोग ट्रांसफर कर रहे हैं. लेकिन at the beginning of this GSM format it is very less, as because that was the beginning of the digital transmission reception की जो शुरुआत हुई थी. तो इसीलिए हम लोग वहाँ पे the data rate of 64 kilobits is not possible to transmit as well as receive between BTS and MS vice versa. तो अभी उसके लिए यहाँ पे हमें कोडिंग करना पड़ता है. What is that coding? What is the hardware which is available within that mobile as well as in the BTS? So here a specific coding process is being done by your hardware, which is called as O-coders, that means voice coders, and codec, that means coding and decoding, both transmission as well as reception में दोनों तरफ हमें bidirectional coding process की जरूरत है. तो इसीलिए हम यहाँ पे we have to understand about the कोडिंग प्रोसेस. So usually हम लोग जो नॉर्मल प्रोसेस में the analog to digital converters which are doing the sampling and it is being generated by binary information. So that is what is the normal two basic process. Here, after converting into 64, it has to be again reconverting into downsize. That means the data rate should be less than 64 kilobits, which is not possible. So हम यहाँ पे अलग से problem है. So that is being carried out by this coder. That means voice coders is to be done. Convert the 64 kilobits data into a lower data rates. So then only we can able to send this speech information through a radio link between MS and the BTS. So that is what how it is being done. So हम briefly यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा बताने की कोशिश करेंगे, which is called as how this. So this is the basic device which will take place, which is called as linear prediction coding with regular pulse excitation. So shortly it is called as LPC and RPE. This is what is the technique we are using to convert the PCM 64 kilobits into a data rate of 13 kilobits. So this is what is the basic conversion process carried out. So so again, of course, a lot of things is carrying in this process of coding technique. But ultimately, what we have to understand here it is what is the data rate we are being carried out from 64 kilobits, and finally is being transported as data rate of 22.8 kilobits per second. So this is really we are transporting this information on the air. That means through RF carrier. So we are transporting. So the 64 kilobits are converted into 22.8 kilobits data rate. So this is how these vocoders are being converting this. ये जरूरी है, अगर ये नहीं करेंगे तो हम उसको ट्रांसफर नहीं कर सकते. वो चीज आप यहाँ पे एक फ्रेम के अंदर देख सकते हैं. जैसा कि यहाँ पे ये जीएसएम फ्रेम अगर हम लोग जो टीडीएम में और एफडीएम में जब हम लोग देखा था, वहां पे व्हाई इट वाज गिवन 8 सब्सक्राइबर्स, बिकॉज 8 time slots are being designed for as a GSM frame. So you can see that 0 to 7, matlab 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 time slots are there. So it is going to carry by GSM frame. So each time slot is being carried by one particular channel. So that channel is carrying the actual bit rate of 57 bits here and 57 bits here. So every time of this duration, so that is 446 microseconds के अंदर हम लोग जो actual data as a time slot, जैसा कि हम 2 MB PCM स्ट्रक्चर में अगर देखेंगे, एक टाइम स्लॉट में हम लोग एक बिट्स को भेजते हैं. So that we have 30 channels are being sent in one frame of 125 microseconds, which carries the 32 time slots. Similarly, in GSM frame also 8 subscribers information is being framed, and that frame is going to last for 4.61 milliseconds, and each time slot is being allocated again with 576 microseconds. This is the total duration of the frame. 546 plus 30 microseconds. This is what I told you, the guard bands 8.25. So the total 546 plus 30 microseconds. So this is the duration of one particular time slot. So 576 microseconds is the time duration given for one time slot in a GSM. So this is multiplied by the 7, so that the total duration allocated here is 4.61. Okay, so this is how they are going to be. You can understand what is the frame structure for a GSM. So this frame, normally यहाँ पे हम instead of frame, because we are sending this frequency in the form of burst. Burst means one frame which is isolated from in the form of pieces as a samples. We can understand. We are continuously sending without any disconnection. So that's why यहाँ पे हम लोग we are calling it as a GSM burst. Burst which is carrying the actual information, which is having these two data informations. The 557 plus 57 is the ideal voice information. बाकी आपका जो bits जो है यहाँ पे, they are the overheads. We can understand this. These bits are overheads, carry and exchange the information as a signaling information. So this is how we can understand the transport of the frequency and the number of data. So हम लोग वहाँ पे देखा था कि actual data rate for transmission and reception is 22.8 kilobits per second. लेकिन हम लोग normally जब हम BTS MS से BTS को जब हम carry करते हैं, that is only 13 kilobits. तो ये चीज हम traffic analysis जब हम करेंगे उस समय we can understand that. So similarly in this diagram you can see the large multiplexing process of a GSM TDMA frame, which is having what is the actual frame of an individual subscriber, and how 8 subscribers are being as a one frame, and similarly multi-frames which is having a 26 frames are being formed as a one multi-frame, and similarly a super frame which is consisting of 50 multi-frames, and finally it is reaching the hyper frame. This is what is the multiplexing process in GSM technology. Okay, so this is the data rates what we are going to carry. तो अभी हम आपको थोड़ा सा ये जो डाटा रेट्स अभी जो हम लोग जो डिस्कस किया है, how they are carrying, that is very important for us. Those data rates are basically carrying through logical channels. तो यहाँ पे फिर एक आपका जो डाउट है, is called is what is a physical channel and what is a logical channel. So here we are using two types of channels. A physical channel is basically to carry the frequency. That means हमारा carrier जो है, that is the physical channel. हम लोग 124 channels बोल रहे हैं. Those 124 channels are physical channels. लेकिन यहाँ पे हम दूसरे नाम इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, which is called as logical channels. लॉजिकल चैनल्स क्या होता है, उसकी सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है? तो हम यहाँ पे लॉजिकल चैनल्स is a channel which carrying information of two different types. One is वॉइस कम्युनिकेशन को ले जाने के लिए और signaling information, that is control information, or we can have the signaling information. दो तरीके का informations को हमें exchange करना पड़ता है between the network and the MS. तो ये दोनों चीज जो है वो आपस में कोरिलेट करके देना पड़ता है. So that this type of information we are exchanging through logical channels. तो यहाँ पे एक कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है, one physical channel may carry one or more logical channels within that. अब एक ही कैरियर के अंदर बहुत सारे लॉजिकल चैनल्स, पार्टीशन लॉजिकल चैनल्स में अलग अलग इंफॉर्मेशन अलग अलग टाइम सीक्वेंस में भेजा जाता है. So that timing sequence is subdivided according to the operation of this logical chain. तो यहाँ पे हमने जो बेसिक ड्यूप्लेक्स ट्रैफिक चैनल्स मींस bidirectional. हमेशा duplex means bidirectional. So the traffic which is to be carried for voice communication, मतलब आपस में बातचीत करने के लिए जो चैनल हम यूज करते हैं, that is called as duplex traffic channels. लेकिन वॉइस की अलावा कुछ सिग्नलिंग इंफॉर्मेशन हमें एक्सचेंज करना पड़ता है, that is called as duplex control channels. These duplex control channels are being used for exchanging specific signaling information during the call setup and during the call breakdown. मतलब कॉल सेटअप करने से पहले और कॉल खत्म होने की बाद. तो ये दो फंक्शंस जो है हमें इस्तेमाल करना पड़ता है. So that is what is basic significance of these two logical channels का जो function है. So I think, have you understand this? Any doubts? Please raise hands or ask here itself. Logical channels क्या है? ये क्या क्या information ले जा रहा है? हाँ बोलिए. Somebody is asking some question. Voice is not clear. I think no doubt, huh? हाँ जी.
और खराब हो जाएगा सब, और खराब हो जाएगा सब. रहने
खराब हो जाएगा, खराब हो जाएगा कि नहीं
मृत्युंजय कुमार जी, आप थोड़ा म्यूट करें. So this is what the structure of logical channels. So here we can understanding that what is the classification of this structure and how these structures are being functioned and what is the purpose of those effective channels. So इसमें आपको broadly it is classified into two groups. One is control channel, another one is traffic channels. Traffic channel is again subdivided into two groups. It's called as full rate and half rates. Full rate means total capacity of the data which is being carried out at the normal conditions, whereas half rate means at the time of congestion or the busy. So the data is being transferred with less amount. That means, मान लो the full rate is 22.8 kilobits per second. अगर full rate data rate होता है, so उसके अंदर half मतलब 11.8 kilobits per. उससे फायदा क्या है? When there is a traffic is very congested at that particular BTS location, say suppose if you are able to handle the traffic of 8 subscribers at a time with one frequency, because of unavailable channel frequencies, so there is an option that if the number of subscribers are increasing at that particular location, the system is going to adopt it from full rate to half rate data rate, so that instead of 8 subscribers, the same network at that particular location with the same frequency can be accommodated 16 subscribers with the same channel. That is what is the advantage. But आप लोग ये पूछ सकते हैं ये हमेशा क्यों नहीं, हमेशा की जरूरत नहीं है. Only at the time of peak hours this transformation is going to be taken place. So this is what about the traffic channels. The other classification what we are going to see it here is called as control channels. So these control channels are basically for a signaling information. Control means some signaling information is required. So that information is further classified into three categories, which is called as one is broadcast channel, common control channel, and dedicated channel. So this is what the subdivision of this control channels. So what is the basic significance of this? क्योंकि हम लोग ट्रैफिक चैनल्स को तो ये तो क्लियर हो गया, दिस इज ओनली फॉर वॉइस एंड डाटा के लिए हम लोग जो यूज करते हैं, लेकिन उसके अलावा हमें जो यहाँ पे जो जरूरतें हैं, दैट इज सम सिग्नलिंग इंफॉर्मेशन ड्यूरिंग 1 minute. I am giving the pause again. Some announcement is coming. Please hold. Okay, the announcement is over.
Excuse me, sir.
बोलिए.
Sir, in under traffic channels, the
जी.
transition from full rate to half rate and vice versa takes place automatically, or someone has to configure?
It is automatic. It is automatically because we have already the system में initial configurations में ये provision कर देते हैं, लेकिन ये situation जैसा कि हमारा जो alarm conditions आता है, congestion conditions, तभी ये आपको transfer होगा. Otherwise, normally it is incorporated in the full rate only. Yes, you are right. It is an automatic. No need of any manual configuration is required. Have you got it?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So, अभी यहाँ पे just I'll go through with the broadcasting, common control and dedicated control channel के बारे में थोड़ा सा, क्योंकि ये signaling information ये भी जरूरी है हमारे लिए. तो आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं, this is what is the actual data rates जो अभी जो बताया है. So this is the full rate channel operates at 22.8 kilobits. लेकिन यहाँ पे एक confusion है. There is another term which is called as 13 kilobits is sufficient for speech transmission, and the rest is basically used for error protection. So have you got my point? Normally traffic channel का जो full rate transmission rate is 22.8. उसमें the actual speech is only 13 kilobits. बाकी जो balance 22.8 minus 13 kilobits is for error protection के लिए use किया है. But overall यहाँ पे हम एक चीज देख सकते हैं कि what is the data rate of a full rate channel अगर पूछेंगे, it should be 22.8 kilobits. लेकिन व्हाट इज द स्पीच ट्रांसमिशन रेट इज 13 किलोमीटर। तो दो अलग अलग चीजें हैं, ध्यान रखिएगा, ठीक है। क्योंकि बाद में व्हेन वी आर ऑपरेटिंग दिस एज अ स्पीच डाटा रेट वी विल हैव अ लिटिल बिट, क्योंकि एरर करेक्शन जो है वो पहले मतलब हमारा स्पीच के लिए 13 किलो बिट्स इज सफिशिएंट, बाकी एक्स्ट्रा जो बिट्स है दैट इज फॉर एरर प्रोटेक्शन के लिए अलग से दिया गया है। तो हमें स्पीच चैनल स्पीच के लिए जो डाटा रेट हम कहेंगे ओनली 13 किलो बिट्स, whereas the channel data rate is 22.8. Please understand the difference between these two, क्योंकि ये आगे काम आएगा। क्योंकि हम लोग जब इस डाटा रेट को 2 MB में किस तरीके से इंसर्ट कर रहे हैं वो कॉन्सेप्ट यहाँ पे बहुत जरूरी है, ठीक है। आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंड। विल अगेन डिस्कस एट द टाइम ऑफ अनदर डिवाइस वहां पे किस तरीके से डाटा रेट को हम, तो फिलहाल यहाँ पे जो ट्रैफिक चैनल के बारे में बात करते हैं, इट इज अ बायडायरेक्शनल डाटा चैनल, इट इज ऑपरेटेड फ्रॉम बोथ MS to BTS and BTS to MS, and so the maximum data rate is 22.8 kilobits per second, okay. Then you have this control channels which are called as I mentioned that these are the signaling channels. So these control channels are mainly used for exchange of or transfer of the signaling information. So what is that signaling information? How it has to be used for different purposes. Now we can understand. So these control channels, as we have seen in the earlier slide, which is one is broadcast channel, second one is common control channel, and third one is dedicated control channel. So three different categories are there in this control channels. So quickly we can see that what is the purpose and function of these channels. So this purpose is, first of all, you can see that a broadcast means simplex one way, that is point to multi-point. हमेशा ब्रॉडकास्टिंग मतलब ये होता है कि पॉइंट टू मल्टी पॉइंट सिग्नलिंग होता है। सो यहाँ पे भी the signaling information which is required only from BTS to MS. The multi-point means multiple users and one BTS. So that's why it is called as point to multi-point. One BTS which is giving the information to multiple users of mobile subscribers. So that's why this channel is used for broadcasting some information from one channel to BTS to multiple users. So this information distributed over the broadcast channel helps the mobile stations to orient themselves in the mobile radio. So that's why these channels are used for specific application. So what is that specific application? Again, we have the different things. It is defined for downlink only. जैसा कि broadcasting is always from one to one. So downlink means BTS to MS, called as downlink. So these are further classified into broadcast control channel, frequency correction channel, synchronization channel, and cell broadcaster. So there are 4 different applications. Actually, these are the applications. So मैं एक simple example आपको बता देता हूँ। जैसे कि आप मोबाइल the moment when you are switching on, मान लीजिए आपका मोबाइल switched off है, तो आप switch on करते हैं, सबसे पहले what it is going to do, मतलब as soon as you have powered on the mobile. So first it will try to connect to the nearest network. So how it is going to be connected with the nearest network? Because if there is any information related to the same BTS or the same operator, with the predefined channels are available or not. So simply the mobile is going to scan all the 124 channels. So it is going to try to scan what are the channels available at this particular location. लेकिन इसको कैसा पता चलेगा कि जो है कि आपका चैनल्स कौन से अवेलेबल है? दैट हैज टू बी गिवन बाय BTS through broadcasting. So that broadcasting information is being continuously given by the BTS so that उस BTS के अंदर जितना भी सब्सक्राइबर्स होंगे, all the subscribers will be connected to that particular frequency so that the link radio connectivity is being established to the network. तो एक और आसान तरीका हम बात करना चाहेंगे यहाँ पे। मान लीजिए आपको बहुत सारे FM रेडियो स्टेशन है, तो हम लोग क्या करेंगे, एक पर्टिकुलर चैनल को एक्सेस करने के लिए हम अलग अलग फ्रीक्वेंसी को चुनते हैं। से हम जिस पर्टिकुलर स्टेशन को एक्सेस करना, वी हैव टू ट्यून इट, सो दैट ट्यूनिंग इज द प्रोसेस। तो जैसा कि वो फ्रीक्वेंसी यहाँ पे मिल जाता है, हमारा जो हैंडसेट जो है, इट इज गोइंग टू बी लॉक्ड टू दैट पर्टिकुलर frequency. Now your mobile is connected to the BTS network so that you are able to communicate with the network, or network is able to communicate with you. So this type of information is being sent via broadcasting channel by the BTS through this BCH channel. So that is what is called as one example of a logical channel. So I think, have you followed this small channeling process? आप लोगों को कुछ क्लियर हुआ है? What is the logic behind this using the logical channels? तो अभी 5 मिनट 2 मिनट बचा है, so please ask any doubts so that I want to conclude here itself for today's session. The rest of the things we will discuss tomorrow in continuation with the same. Okay, so any doubts, or shall we conclude this session today right now? So many okays are coming for me, so I'll conclude this session right now. So go for lunch, come back with the afternoon session.